turn the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. You should never have to make excuses for his behavior towards you, the one he loses. I know they seem to understand now, but they will never change, no matter how hard you try. Hey, don't call me up, I know you know what you did, so I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. Hey, hey. What goes around comes back around. Hey, hey. Looks so pretty on the outside, got the eyes of an innocent one. You can never tell at the first glance, they'll never save the lessons for you. Hey, don't call me up, I know you know what you did, so I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. Hey, hey. What goes around comes back around. Hey, hey. What goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. If I open up my eyes.
Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks, guys. Do you know what today is? 2-year Nomadiversary! Woo! We have been living and traveling in our 2021 Grand Design Momentum 397 for 2 years now. I can't even believe how fast the time went.
It feels like it was just yesterday.
I know. I just posted this morning that it feels like we just scratched the surface on exploring this beautiful country. And we still got a lot more to go, so there is no end in sight, guys. For this video, we are going to talk about some of the damage that is incurred on our home for the last 2 years of full-time RV living and travel. Some of it is our fault. Some of it is completely out of our hands.
Right.
And some of it is just nature of the beast when you put your home through an earthquake every travel day. We'll get back to our 2-year Nomadiversary stuff later. I think we're actually going to do a live maybe next Sunday and discuss our second year on the road, all the places that we went to, you know, places we loved and places we didn't love so much, highs, lows, all that good stuff. So look out for that. I'll be posting it on our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and all that when we are going to do that live, and hopefully a lot of you will join us. So let's start off by showing you guys some of this damage. All right, so for the first one, this one is completely on me. I didn't wait for my spotter, Jen, to make sure we were good to go when we were trying to get into our site. So basically, when you have a 44-foot fifth wheel, there is a certain angle that you cannot exceed, otherwise the RV is going to make contact with the bed of the truck. Well, we found out what that angle was. One thing that doesn't help is that we installed the Paragon truck bed cover before we started full-time and before we picked up this Momentum. And this actually, these rails will give you an extra couple inches of no clearance. So 2 inches of less clearance because these bed rails stick up. So sometimes these bed rails will come really, really close to making contact with the RV. We were in a spot. We were going down a hill to get to our spot, and the angle of the truck versus the angle of the RV, I thought we were good to go. We weren't. So this part of the RV hit this part of the truck, and you can see the damage that is done to the tailgate as well as the RV. This is just fiberglass. I repainted the fiberglass, kind of touched it up a little bit. You can't even really tell it's there unless you know it's there, so not terrible, but I definitely wasn't happy about that one. Again, that was my fault. Second thing is, and a lot of you guys have seen this already, Wile E. Coyote here is covering up a little dent on the truck. We were at an RV park for about 3 weeks, and typically we just don't drive the truck while we're at the RV park. It just sits here. We use the Jeep or the motorcycle or the bikes or whatever. So I had forgot about a post that was right next to the truck, and then of course travel day came. We get ready to leave. I jump in the truck. I go to back out, smashed right into this post. And now Wile E. Coyote is a good conversation piece. So again, that one was on me, totally my fault. Are you seeing the pattern here? So here's one that was not my fault, not Jennifer's fault, not anybody's fault really. We're just cruising down the road. We're on a 2-lane highway, and we come to a construction zone. Of course, they got all the cones set up in the construction zone, and as we're cruising along the construction zone, I'm watching my mirrors to make sure I got plenty of room, and I see this propane door. Of course, you can't lock these propane doors. It's against the law. It flies open and smacks one of the cones. It just, boom, smacked one of the cones, and of course, damaged the door. It scratched this up. It put a little dent right here. It bent the hinges in, but the thing is, now it actually closes better. Even though it's kind of messed up, it won't pop open again. That one was not my fault. All right, so this next one really isn't my fault or Jennifer's fault or anybody's fault, really. It's just kind of the nature of the beast of loading and unloading the motorcycle every week or two on travel days. It's kind of warped the ramp door a little bit. So I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but there is a little bit of a dip here where the front, the tires hit the middle of the door. Of course, that does have the bumpers on the bottom of the door, and I do use Lynx blocks sometimes to make the approach better, but it has warped this door. I can still load the bike, no problem. The problem is when the door is up, it doesn't quite seal all the way across anymore. It doesn't make contact with the top of the RV. Luckily, there's a rear awning on the back that prevents water from pouring in if it's raining or whatever, but if you were to stand on the inside and look straight up, you do see some light. We did file this under warranty because it did happen within our 12-month warranty period. We just haven't had time to move out of our home to bring this in to get all the warranty items taken care of. Okay, so another thing that got damaged that is pretty much our fault, but it would have been hard to avoid, kind of. So we're in Moab. It's beautiful out, beautiful day. I'm editing video. Jen's upstairs watching TV, and out of nowhere, a pop-up storm comes up. We got all of our awnings out. We got our sunscreens out just like this. But we do not have a sunscreen on the patio awning. So of course, we're trying to get those awnings in, and the wind is just crazy. It must have been blowing 70 or 80 miles an hour, and it damaged our patio awning. I was able to fix it for the most part. It does have a little bit of a gangster lean now, but the awning still works fine. It goes all the way out. It goes all the way in, no problem. It's just, well, it doesn't go all the way in. It goes all the way in on one side. On the other side, got a little bit of a gap. My fault again. All right, this next one is due to having pets. These little turkeys love to hang out with mom and dad, and when we're outside and they're not, they don't like it very much. So what do? They scratch at the doors and whine the whole time. And they have destroyed 3 different screens on 3 different RVs before we finally got smart and purchased the Lippert screen defenders. So now we got one of those on each door, and they still whine and cry at the door and scratch at it, but no damage done. All right, now probably one of the major things that happened to us, and lessons learned on this one. It really wasn't our fault, but it kind of was. When we first started full timing, probably the first 10 or 11 months, when we loaded the bike in, we would leave Axel's food dish right here, which put the front tire of the bike right about here, which meant the rear tire sat back here on one of the posts for the table. So it sat on this table post. There's 3 of them. And eventually, this wood just broke from the rear tire sitting in this area. I don't think it was actually sitting right on top of it, but it was in this area. So one day we got to our destination on a travel day and noticed the rear tire of the motorcycle we thought we had a flat. It looked like we had a flat tire. But then discovered that this whole wood, all this area just collapsed. Not really sure why. I mean, it is rated for my motorcycle. It's a stock motorcycle. I don't have a whole bunch of weight added to it or anything. So we did file this under warranty as well. And again, just haven't had time to get everything fixed, but it still works, and just kind of got a little dip in the garage floor now.
When do we think about trying to get it fixed?
We're talking about trying to get it fixed in Florida this winter, because we're going to be spending most of the winter in Florida, so we'll have time to hopefully get this thing in, because I imagine this is going to take a few weeks to fix. They're probably going to have to replace this whole floor. I'm not sure, but hopefully this winter. Never mind, it's fixed! Alright, so those of you that have a toy hauler with these patio doors, these 3-season patio doors, you always want to make sure on travel days that you tow with the windows in the down position, the up windows all the way down, because if you don't, they might fall out. We had a travel day. Our window was in the down position, but one of these tabs that holds the window in was defective. It didn't come from the manufacturer, right? We had problems with this window since day one. And we got to our destination and there was glass everywhere, shattered. It just fell right out. Grand Design was super quick. They sent us a brand new one right away, and we were able to replace that. So, yeah.
So some other damage that wasn't caused by me or Jason, but by this one, is the carpet down here. We had this door closed, and we were gone, and I guess she wasn't happy that she couldn't get back to her brother. So she scratched and scratched and scratched and tore up the carpet. And of course, there is other damage that we have no control over. When we bring the couch in on travel days, it rubs right here on the fireplace. And it just keeps rubbing and rubbing. However, not a big issue, because I plan to take this off and get some type of backsplash, something a little bit different. The original chairs that came with the RV would like fold up, kind of like folding chairs. And every travel day we would find random screws, bolts, and all that, and eventually one day they just completely broke, so we threw them in the trash and just use these 2 other chairs now.
And where did we get those 2 chairs?
We got these chairs from Harold and Cindy from One Strange Adventure.
Thanks, guys!
Yeah, thank you! Okay, another thing that broke that was somebody's fault in this camper, not mine. Is this banister.
Manufacturer defect.
Okay. Jason was just coming down one day and put his hand here, and then this bracket right here just completely like broke in half. And so we went to Ace Hardware, or Jason did, and got some new ones, and we just reinstalled it.
We got those fancy gold colored ones now.
Yeah, not a big fan of the gold ones, but I wasn't there.
It was the only ones they had that would fit.
Okay then. Well then he's got a pass, but I don't know if just from putting weight on it or what, but it broke. And lastly, some damage that we have done is from the washer and dryer. It just bounces around on travel days, because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but a lot of the roads in the U.S. are not very smooth. And so it just bounces around, and Jason's had to fix it a few times. Got it rednecked up. And
we got a whole separate video on that.
Yeah, we had a whole separate video on that, and pop a card right here so you can watch that video.
And of course we have the random trim that comes off pretty much all over the RV, which is a normal thing. I mean, we've had 7 RVs and every single one of them trim pops off. That's just one of those nature of the beast damages, I guess.
I mean, it's like everywhere from the back of the RV to the front, just the trim. And usually we fix it. In some cases, we just remove it.
But overall, I'd say we've fared pretty well for living and traveling in this RV for 2 years. Grand Design has made a great rig. This is definitely the best rig that we've ever had and our most favorite rig. But a lot of you out there, I'm sure, have had similar stories. So if you have, please put them in the comments below of some of the damages that you've incurred while you're out on the road, whether it's full-time or whether it's weekends or whatever. So
yeah.
You ready to do a live and talk about our 2-year Nomadiversary stuff?
Yep. Give
her some encouragement. She's not a big fan of lives.
I'm not a big fan of lives. So
make sure you put it in the comments. You can do it.
Oh boy, okay.
Until next time, guys, safe travels.
Bye.